Hi guys, Radhika here again. So today I wanted to make a video which is based on a comment that I got for another video. Um, it's about co-parenting with a narcissist. When you are married to a narcissist and you have children, and how do you deal with that situation? So the narcissist in this situation may be on the spectrum of narcissism. So if that person is way over the spectrum and it's a physically abusive or a very mentally abusive environment where you feel like your children might be they are put to risk in that situation, and you are being put to risk in that situation, and you will not be able to operate at your 100% in that situation as a parent, then you have other options like moving away from the narcissist. But then again, everyone falls on the spectrum, and you might have other reasonings. You might have a reasoning that I do not want my children to be with with my partner alone, because after if you get a divorce, you might have to share custody of your children, and your child might be with the narcissist without your supervision. So if you're concerned about that, then in that case it might be better to always be supervising when the narcissist is around, or you get terms such as you get no contact with the narcissist with your children. But I actually do not know the details of this because I haven't been through this, so I am not an expert advisor on this topic. But what I want to comment on is that co-parenting with a narcissist has certain trends. So what you do in your situation is completely up to you, because every situation is very different. But what we do observe is certain patterns that happen when you co-parent with a narcissist. So those are the patterns that I want to discuss today. And I also want to discuss um, how I feel, or what I have observed in my life happens to these children who have been whose whose pa- in whose parents, one of them is a narcissist and the other one is a non-narcissist. So they are not a codependent. They might be an enabler, but they are a completely non-narcissistic and non-codependent person. So what happens to the children who have grown up in this environment, and how will they respond after they have grown up? So the whole dynamics of the situation, because what will help, I think, um, to people who are in this situation is knowing that this is a pattern. So even if you are in this situation, you can gain some awareness about the pattern that such families go through, and how the children in such families will react to situations when they grow up. And this can give you some peace and some way of behaving towards the children when they are growing up. And yeah, basically it will give you some kind of a path to walk on. Yeah, so basically this is I do not have personal experience of co-parenting with a narcissist, but I have experience in which I have been in situations which are similar to this. So um, so yeah, I have been in situations where one of the spouse is very much on the spectrum of NPD, and the other spouse is an empath. And they are not codependent, so they do not approve of the abusive behavior of the narcissist. They are very much aware of what the narcissist is doing, and they do everything in their ability to stop the narcissist from behaving the certain way, and they pick their battles. So they might not always stop all abusive behavior, or they can't stop the all the talks that a narcissist does, right? You can't just trap someone's mouth shut. But they, if the narcissist is crossing a major boundary with their children or with them, they will stop the narcissist. So they have that much of awareness. But then again, the toxicity still spreads and they can't totally contain it. They can't cure the narcissist. um so yeah, and these people I know have been in marriage with the narcissist all their life, and there are so many families in India or in Asia who live like this, and they just take it like the person that I'm married to is a difficult person. They don't even ever go into research, or they don't go into therapy, they don't do anything. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing to do. I'm saying they are just not aware that there is a disorder called as narcissistic personality disorder, and that people behave so similarly when they are affected by this disorder. They don't see the patterns of such people, but they do talk. People in Asian countries, they do talk to each other. They share all of this with each other. A lot of them do, especially women, if they are married to narcissistic personality disordered husbands who might also be physically abusive sometimes, because then because the narcissistic uh, person also has a lot of triggers, because they have had some childhood trauma which they have covered up with narcissistic personality disorder. So if they get very triggered, they might get physically abusive, but then again they switch back to being non triggered and being extremely sorry for the behavior that they did. So it's a difference in perspective, because a lot of Indian women and Asian women will kind of be okay with this, and still continue living with the narcissist, thinking that we are improving the narcissist. And a lot of them actually do. And the narcissists actually become less and less aggressive as they become older, because the bond between the husband and the wife, it strengthens over time, and the narcissistic person actually gets cured a lot by understanding empathy and love that the spouse is showing towards them. But this is not always the case, and this also depends on what the person who has the NPD is at their core. So sometimes even empaths become NPD people, because they feel a lot and they go through a lot of trauma, and to cover it up, they become a narcissistic person. So because so much bad things have been done to them, they are actually good at their core, but they just cover up this core with a lot of ego. And sometimes a spouse will keep like plucking away at the ego and getting to the core with love. But then again, these people are not so much on the spectrum, you know. So if there is someone who is very much on the spectrum, then it is very difficult living with such a person, um, because they don't feel the oneness, they don't feel the love. So a person who is little bit on the spectrum can be cured, but a person who's like way down there on the spectrum, who thinks everyone is competition, that person, it's very difficult to actually cure them through love. Or even if the spouse has that much of love, it's kind of hard to do it. So it's totally up to you, and your situation must it will be very personal on how to deal with it. But these are some of the things that I have noticed that a narcissistic partner will do when you are co-parenting with them. And I have examples for this, and those children are very grown up now, but the patterns continue even when the narcissist is almost like very old. The patterns still continue and they remain the same. So they will try to compete with the, so point one is competition. So they will try to compete with the other parent in parenting. So for a narcissist, everything is about competition, because they have to keep feeding their ego all the time, and competition feeds ego, because generally we are not even competing. Like healthy people won't always be competing. People who are very insecure are always competing. So they compete with the other parent in parenting, and frankly speaking, the other parent might have no clue about this in the beginning, that my partner is actually taking parenting as a competition, because no, normal healthy people will think parenting is a thing that we do as a team, because we want to bring our child up and we want to give him or her the best of everything. So it's not a competition that who can do it better, do you like mom better or do you like dad better. It's not that. So but narcissists, they cannot operate as a team. Sooner or later, they will get that competitive streak up in them. So a covert narcissist will keep switching situations on this because they are conflicted. So they will compete, but they will compete very covertly, and maybe they might not even show it to the other partner that they are competing, but when they are left alone with their children, they will always have tales of the other spouse, in which the narcissist parent is the hero, and or the someone who saves the day. Even if it's a wife, she will show that she saved the day, and her spouse or the narcissist person's spouse will be the person who is in need of help, or who ruined the situation, who put them in jeopardy, etc. So they will always like tell such tales to the children. So it's very subtle. They will just say it as if it's just a matter of fact, but subtly what they are doing is they are brainwashing the thing. Okay. So basically, a narcissist parent will also pick out a negative quality in the other parent. So we all have negative qualities. Like for me, I would say one of my negative qualities is I am very carefree, like, and sometimes with children, you have to be careful. So I can be carefree. I can just give my son ice cream one day because it's too hot outside, and he might get a sore throat because I gave him ice cream. So it might just be small things like this, or sometimes I might not layer him up enough because I feel hot, but the child might need one more layer. So we all have some negative qualities, but uh, it's only natural that we do, and we learn from our negative things and we try to improve on them. That's being human. But the narcissist parent, what they will do is they will pick on this one quality which they know you have. So it's not like they're lying, it's not like they're making it up, it's true. And children have a very their truth radar is very strong, so they know when someone is lying and when someone is telling them the truth. So what the narcissist parent will do is they will pick on this negative quality of the other parent, and they will just amplify it. They will always exaggerate it in every situation. They will try to bring that quality out. So they will do it to such an extent that they dehumanize the other parent, and it's almost like the other parent is nothing but this negative quality. And I've seen that happen. So if there's a covert narcissist wife, she will make, and her husband is an empath, and he is a little bit afraid, he is a little bit cautious, he is a little bit skeptical. Of course he will be, because he has a covert narcissistic wife. So many things have turned on him in his lifetime that he has implicitly become a little more aware of things and people and everything around him. So the covert narcissist wife will stamp this kind of a husband with a label, coward, and she will keep on repeating this, that, oh, your dad's afraid, oh, your dad's scared, oh, your dad's afraid, your dad won't do this, your dad won't do that. And slowly, by brainwash, the husband also becomes more cautious, more coward, because if you tell a person you are dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb, they will become dumb because you are telling them. So at some level your words are affecting them. Their energy is getting affected by your thoughts because you are thinking they are dumb. So they are becoming dumb. In some way they actually are, because words and energy has effect. Even though it's not spontaneous, it does have effect over time. So the narcissist parent will keep stamping you with some particular quality and dehumanizing you. And slowly you will become more of that, and slowly the child will also start thinking you are more of that. So if you are aware of this, you can stop it, because you can block out any energy that you don't want in your zone. You can block it out. So if a narcissistic parent is telling you you are a coward, and actually what you are is you are just cautious, then you can still keep on remaining cautious and knowing that you are cautious. And with the children again, basically the remedy to this, to co-parenting with a narcissist with the children, is I actually want to make another video on it, and I'll link it somewhere here. But what I want to say is, with children, you really have to let go, because if you try to control them too much, you are actually becoming the narcissist, and that's what the narcissist wants you to do. Because especially a covert narcissist, because the covert narcissist does not control explicitly openly, they control implicitly. They control without letting the people know that they are the ones who are controlling them. So what will happen is the other parent will try to control overtly, because they are not a narcissist, they are not going to play all these games. So what will happen is you will try to become this control freak with your children, and which is not a good thing, which will push them away. So what I would say is, let the narcissist say anything, let them label you anything. You know who you are, so you stay that person, and you just give your child love and safety, education, whatever are the good things. If you were in a healthy relationship, just forget the narcissist. Forget what image they are putting in front of you, in front of the child. Just try to think like you are a single parent, and what is the best thing you want to do for your child, and do that thing. And don't care about what image the narcissist is making for your child, because trust me, children are such good observers. Children, they pick on things so quickly. They pick on energies, they pick on vibrations, they pick on intentions, they pick on what is the feeling that goes behind the words that a person is saying. They pick on everything. So you don't have to worry. All you need to do is you need to work on being the best person you are yourself, and your children are going to pick on it. So they are going to pick on it. You don't have to convince your child that you are this thing or that thing. Like the narcissist is trying to convince the child that, oh, your other parent is this particular thing. Don't convince your children of anything. Just be the good things that you want to be. Just try to improve yourself. Once you improve yourself, your children are like, they are like sponge, they will absorb who you are. They won't absorb what you are trying to project. They won't absorb that. They will absorb who you are at your core level. That's what they will absorb. So you can always try that, and just like let go of all the stupid kindergarten games that the narcissist plays. I know it's difficult, but once you know this, that your children will absorb who you are, all the mental time that you give to what image the narcissist is making of you, it will be so irrelevant that you won't spend your time and energy on doing that. You will spend your time and energy on improving yourself, and that will help you, and it will in turn help your children as well. And actually it will also help the narcissist. So in a way it helps everyone. So that's the really good thing to do. That's the productive thing to do. Okay, so when the children start growing up, the narcissist will try to make the other parent as an observer, always siding with the children. If the child is like a little feisty and they are opposing you and you have opposing point of views, the narcissist will always take the child's side. So they will try to make the child as the head of the family, and they will kind of sideline you totally. And they will try to make you feel like just be an observer and just keep on watching, and me and my child are in this, they will make like this psychosis that we have this aim together with the child, and they will throw you out of the picture. And they will generate like a group like mentality with the child, try to make fun of you, etc. So this will happen because the child is brainwashed in the end. But so the child will go through phases. For some time the child will support you, for some time the child will support the narcissist. So it also depends on how brainwashed the child is. But at your heart the intent that you have is good for the child. So you don't be like the narcissist that the child has to be on my side. If the child is not on your side, let them be, because you don't want to turn yourself into a narcissist, you know. So yeah, so that happens. Yeah, they will make the other parent into a scapegoat. And if the other parent just gives up of these narcissistic games and doesn't care enough, then the narcissist is going to find other scapegoats. So the scapegoat might be a grandchildren, a grandchild of the narcissist, or the scapegoat most likely is the spouse of the child. The narcissist person's child will marry, and whoever comes from the other family or the house, they're going to be the main target of the narcissist, because they are bored of abusing the parent all the time. So they will move on to other new fresh targets. Also, they might also make the children fight amongst themselves and make one of the child as the scapegoats. So these things keep on happening when you have a narcissistic person, because they get bored of the same narcissistic supply, and they want to create more and more drama in more and more relationships, spread the chaos and hatred to more and more, you know, like geographical locations. Maybe they make their child and spouse fight who are not even living with them. So you know, they get this high of spreading all this chaos, and they think they are the puppet masters and making everyone move according to them. So yeah, basically this is what a narcissist will do. And actually I have another point number 6 is that another thing the narcissist will do will always make the child feel like you as the partner have been an unfulfilling partner. So I don't, this is not like sexually, but they will feel like they will make them the child feel like, oh, your father or your mother never gave me this sort of happiness, you know, like the happiness of surprises or love or dates, or you know, like owning a house or going on vacation, going on trips, or just peace of mind. I never got those kind of happiness from my partner. And if the children are empaths, and they of course love the narcissistic parent, because children love their parents naturally. But if they have this love bond, and if they have not seen this narcissistic nature of the parent, and if they are empaths, they take it on them how the parent is feeling. They will spend a long time of their life making the narcissistic parent feel all right. So they will spend a lot of their time, you know, in just trying to and that time is spent in vain, right? Because the narcissistic parent will be happy for one bit, and then they will be sad for another, because they are never satisfied. So yeah, this is another point. So these are the things that I have observed when one of the parents is a narcissist and the other is an empath, how it affects the relationship, and these are the dynamics that usually play out. So if you can relate to this, please do comment below. Please like, subscribe to this channel and my videos. Please share them, and I will soon make another video which will have my observations of how such children behave when they have grown up. So maybe they have grown up themselves, they have their own families, and they are just, maybe they are starting to see it, or maybe how they would just behave organically even without knowing about narcissistic personality disorder. And I hope that video will give you some hope, because and some peace, because I have seen that most of the time children do realize that something is wrong with one of my parents, and it does not mean they hate the parent. They still love the parent, and they love both their parents actually, like most children do. But yeah, they are sad because one of their parents has been mentally ill, and they have been doing a lot of bad things. And so yeah, I think most of the time the children do realize that one of the parents is suffering from a mental disorder, and that this kind of behavior is not good, because they step out into the world, they see the world, and they realize what is productive and what is non-productive, what is healthy, what is not healthy, what is organic, what is artificial. They will see such things. So yeah, if you are a parent in this situation, just hold on to hope, just love your child, just be the best version of yourself that you can, and know that there are a lot of us out a lot of people out there who empathize with you, who know your situation, who know your truth. And yeah, just keep validating yourself and loving yourself and your children, and everyone else in this world, including the narcissists. So thank you. I wish you all a lot of love and light. Bye.